Okay, and as you can all see, I'm going to start the timer now, and I'm going to introduce Vernon, and kind of tell you what the fireside chat is until we all get used to it. And it is now 7 o'clock, as you can all see. You guys will, the time starts now. All right, everybody. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Jeffrey Jansen. Welcome to Fireside Chat. Today's special guest is it's always an honor to always have him with us, and everywhere from parades to watching his comedy shows to listening to his inspirational information that he does on his own channels. Vernon Davis, everybody, will be our special guest today. Now, for all of you that are joining us, yesterday was our pilot, and I'm going to tell you real quick what this is all about. This is just a simple discussion between two people. If you got questions, put them up on the screen, and we'll see what we can do. We're going to go exactly 15 minutes. This is for people that you may think you've hit rock bottom. You may not think that you're important, but you are. You may be rich as freaking monkeys. I don't know. And you're just looking for that next thing to go forward. Because one thing we've learned, that there's a lot of people out there that are looking for that one nugget of information. They're looking to know that they're important and they matter. And so we're starting these fireside conversations just to give you a few minutes each day to let you know why you matter, how you're important. Maybe you're looking for a job. Maybe you're going through a bad divorce. Maybe you're fighting for your kids. Maybe you just got out of the service and you don't know what to do next. We're hoping that somebody says something that you can that you can feel and understand. And by doing that, we bring on all kinds of people from every walk of life. Tonight, though, I brought on a special friend of mine. The first couple weeks going to be some good friends of mine. Is Vernon Davis. He's also known as Longhorn the Comedian. Vernon Davis has been doing Thank You for Your Service. I'll let him go more into detail about that and let you tell about himself. And what we're here to do is just talk to you. We're here to let you know things you can do, let you know why you matter and why you're important. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over to Vernon for a few minutes. He'll shoot it back over to me. I'll tell you a couple jobs that are opening up. I'll tell you a couple things that you can and cannot do. Maybe a couple books you can read. And we're going to go from there. So tonight, everybody, give him a warm welcome. This is... What the heck did he just put on his head? This is Vernon Davis. These are not meant to be serious. This is meant for you to just listen. And, you know, we do crazy things. We are non-denominational, which means some people are going to be Christian, Catholic, Mormon, Jews, Muslim. It don't matter. We're all in this together. Everybody, give him a well. Vernon Davis, everybody.
Hey, what's happening, Jeff? How you doing, bro?
Doing outstanding, Vernon.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
you digging the headgear? You like the headgear?
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm going to...
Don't be jealous. Yeah, but no. I am Vernon Davis, also known as Longhorn the Comedian. And I am a big fan of Jeff Jansen and everything that he does. He's a great guy. Talks too damn much, but I love him anyway.
Don't know what you're talking about.
And the thing I love most about Jeff is his heart, because he is an awesome guy, and he does have a big heart, and he does a lot for the community. He's about as crazy about veterans as I am. My connection is I'm 4th generation veteran, and my daughter is 5th generation, so we kind of call it the family business. Last I checked, we've had over 20 people in the last 3 of our generations that have served in the military in some way, form, or fashion, and all branches except the Coast Guard, which, yeah, we don't do Coast Guard. But, no, we don't do Coast Guard, you know. My brother was actually Navy. I'm 4th generation Army. Suicide prevention and veteran suicide prevention is something that's very big for me. I recently wrote a book called Messages in the Madness. And in that book is my story about veteran suicide prevention, speaking basically of my own. Because after I got out the military, I too was not far from the possibilities of no longer being here on this earth. But if it wasn't for for a military friend of mine, another veteran, I wouldn't be here. And he doesn't know to this day that his words of wisdom and kindness and the fact that he wouldn't leave me alone for a second is one of the reasons why I'm still here. So, I also am a public speaker, keynote speaker. And one of the speeches that I do is in reference to veteran suicide prevention. Because the reality is, yes, we've got a lot going on this year. 2020 has been a booger bear. You know, it has been a been tough on a lot of people, not just veterans, but people in general. But we're talking about our vets. It's been very tough. I have to admit it, and I'm not going to BS you about it. But the reality of it is, you can get through this. You have been through worse. A lot of y'all have been on battlefields. Well, I'm a combat medic. That's all I'm going to say about that. But a lot of you have been on battlefields. A lot of you didn't know if you was going to live the next second, let alone the next day. And you made it through that. You've got families that love you and depend on you. You got people who look up to you, people who respect you. And it's your turn. It's your job to Charlie Mike continue mission. So I have to tell you, and I know you don't know me from a can of paint, which is fine. I love you, and there are others who love you, and it is an absolute must that you fight harder to continue to move forward. Ironically, I had this similar conversation this past weekend with another person. They weren't a veteran, but they were another person who just flat out told me, I just don't feel like I just don't feel like I need to be here. And I told that person, you are far from wrong. You do matter, because they said, I don't feel like I matter, but you do matter. You matter to everyone that you have ever touched, every soul that you have touched, every path that you have crossed. You do matter. And quite frankly, for you to think otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna say it, you're being selfish. Because yes, life is hard. Some days are harder than others, but then there's some days that are better than others. And we have to applaud and love and appreciate those days that are better than others. So, snap two. Get your gear in order. Stow that BS. Stand at attention, shoulders back, head up, and prepare to march forward. I'll see you downrange.
So Vern, tell us a little bit now. Vern does a lot of things with comedy, and that's what I love about him the most. Is he's is with veterans all the time, and one of the things that he does is comedy and everything. And he also does thank you for your service. I was reading something the other day. Actually, it just says it. Don Knotts. Okay, was in the Army during World War II. Barney Fife, right? Now, just be quick, get all the rumors out. He was never a drill instructor or anything like that. But what he does, he's got about 5 or 6 different World War II medals, and he was part of a comedy troupe during World War II while he was in. And he was in combat and everything else. But his thing was to entertain the troops. He was on mission at all times. You can go look him up if you want. And what's nice about it is he's always made us laugh and fun. A lot of times what people don't understand is those that are at rock bottom, and the reason why I do these like this today is because everybody's like, oh, if they want help, they'll reach out and get it. If they want help, they know where to get the help at. Oh, you know, they're being selfish. No, here's the problem. People that are hurting in life today think that they're the problem. Now think about it whenever you felt you're a problem with your mom or your dad or your family or anything else. What's the one person you avoid? Anybody you feel that you wrong. You don't want to be around them. You don't want to talk to them. You don't. Now, imagine people, doesn't matter if they're military, or if they're police, or firefighters, doesn't matter if they got PTSD or just regular everyday Americans or everyday people in the world. They feel helpless and hopeless because they feel like they're the reason for whatever it is going on. They blame themselves for all the problems of the world. And by them trying to reach up to you is them basically hurting themselves. They hurt by reaching up. Why? Because they feel they're the problem. We have to reach down to them. We have to make people laugh. We have to include people. Yesterday I didn't say it too much, but one of the nicest things about my hometown. Now Vernon has been in my hometown many times.
I was just there. I was just there this past weekend.
He's the one who brought coronavirus to Illinois, everybody. Remember that? Okay. If you ever want to know the Ground Zero, Vernon, Davis, everybody. In my community, it's really funny because people don't get mad at you for what your religion is or the color. They get mad if you don't show up to their party. They get mad that they're going to invite you and you don't show up. They get mad at you for that. They don't care who you are. They don't care your sexuality. They don't care. But if you don't show up to a party, man, you're going to be on their hit list for the rest of your life. And it's always funny because people will say some of the most stupid, and I hate to say it, but in the Midwest, they even say racial, religious, they say some of those bigoted stuff, but they don't mean it. Now, they shouldn't say it. We're trying to get them away from it because it's how they were raised, and guess what? We're trying to change that little by little. You can't change things overnight. I get that. But the thing about it is, it's like being in the military. It's my buddies in the military. They'll say something like, they'll say some of the most racist things, and you're like, hey, you do know he's your... Oh, I don't mean him. He's cool. He's cool. I'm like, dude, you're just... No, he's cool. It's like, oh my God, dude, what's wrong with you? I think Vernon knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but hey, Jeff, let me jump in here real quick.
Yeah, go.
Michelle said, sometimes with depression, you don't want to bother or hurt the ones closest to you. This is very true. But let me tell you something. Bother them. Talk about it. Talk about it to anybody and everybody who will listen. Why? Because it's so important to get it out of you. And sometimes in order to get it out of you, you've got to talk it out. Sometimes you got to talk to a complete stranger. You got to talk to somebody on Facebook. But talk to somebody. That's how you're going to get to the root of the problem. That's where we make our mistake at, is that we don't talk, Michelle. So thank you for bringing that up. Sorry, Jeff.
No, that's okay. Rejection is a big thing that people have. So when they go in for jobs and everything like that, and they go in somewhere and they get rejected, they all want to give up. And what I had yesterday, I had two Mormons. They always go door to door, and they face rejection every day. And like I said, like the Mormon Church, they put rejection right out there when you're young, but they have you going with somebody. Whenever you're going to a job interview, whenever you're maybe going to go on a date, or whenever you're going to go do something that's out of your comfort zone, call a friend up, talk to them, because we're better in pairs. Everything we do, we're going to get rejected in life no matter what. It's part of life. I mean, have you seen me? My God, I've been rejected from most places. The only difference is I don't stop. Why? Because I learn from the rejections I have to redo whatever it is I got to do to have success. You're only going to be successful once. Rejections are going to come all the time. Without rejection, you're never going to know how great you really are. So if you're so bottled up on, oh my God, I got rejected from that job, I'm just giving up and quitting, that's not the answer. The answer is, okay, what can you change? How can you redo your resume? How can you redo? Who can you talk to maybe talk with them about it to see what you can do differently? It's as simple as that. Maybe you didn't get a loan from the VA. Did you try the GI Bill? Did you try to go over and talk with the city? Maybe did you get a historic grant to get a house or something? There's always something else you can do. But if you give up, why? Life is like Candyland. You've got to have, you're going to get rejection. It's part of life. It's a game. It's like, you're so busy. You can take rejection on a video game, but you can't take rejection in real life. In a video game, you die. In real life, you get to do it all over again. And you get to try again. You get to try new things. You get to try different things. And that's what makes us great.
You have to fail. I'm sorry. You have to fail. Because if you win every time at everything that you do, when you do fail, your life will be over. So therefore, failing is necessity in order for you to be successful. I can tell you, I have failed. I have failed and been rejected and denounced and any other negative connotation you want to speak of. But you have to fail. Before I met Jeff and he saw me perform, I had bombed so many times on stage, but it didn't stop me from doing what it is that I wanted to do. I have been rejected from jobs. I've been fired. I've been divorced. I've been broken up with. Any kind of denial or rejection that you can imagine, I have been through. Matter of fact, I was a no-go in boot camp on the M16. Yeah, I was a no-go. I had to repeat that. Yes, and I could do it. I was teaching other guys to do it, but I froze, and I had to go back through. But I went back through that same day. But my point is this: if you're afraid of failing, you got to get past that, because failing is an intricate part of success.
Now, before we close up tonight, I'm gonna step on that one more thing. Failure, if you fail today, remember, if you don't fail, you may not have the greatest success of your life. You may be in something day in and day out because you wanted something so bad. But if you fail at that one thing and you decide to change, you may find that one thing that you belong to even more. Garth Brooks did unanswered prayers, right? Sometimes we need to do it. It was, like I said, it's just a song, but it means the world. Sometimes we just got to look at life and be like, hey, we're going to make it. Everybody, I want to thank Vernon Davis tonight for joining us. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. I want you to know that you're never alone on anything you do. That every day you matter, every day you make a difference in somebody else's life, whether you know it or not, and more than the time you're not going to know it, but know that no matter what, who you are is making a difference in somebody's life for the positive, and that's what you need to learn. Anything you want to close out with, Vernon?
I will close out with this. Believe in you. Believe in your higher power. Believe that you are worthy. Believe that you do matter. Believe that you are here for a reason. Believe that, yes, you are going to fail, but you will be successful. You will be more successful than you fail. And last but not least, whatever you do, don't be selfish. Do not be selfish. Because doing anything but living and loving and being a positive part of the people around you's life is just that. You're being selfish. Share you with everybody. I love you. God bless you.
Love you, Vernon. God bless you too. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. See y'all tomorrow at 7. Thanks, Vernon.